On Tuesday, the court-martial convicted 6 soldiers for their involvement in a plot to overthrow the government. In the evidence presented before court, it was posited by the prosecution that the soldiers held separate meetings with army generals to plot the overthrow of the government. Amongst the officers named in this plot is the former spy czar, General David Sejusa, FDC party president, Major General Mugisha Muntu, former Army Deputy Chief of Staff, Major General Benon Biraro, and Brigadier Sam Waswa Balikalege. Yet the suggestion that the ringleaders were not convicted and sentenced cast a shadow of doubt on the cogency of evidence used to prosecute the junior army officers.
The onus was on the state to present evidence that indeed these were working for the other 4 generals. But that evidence just evaporated in court. None of the 4 generals was brought to be charged in court. None of them was called as a witness. And so how do you now convict an agent without a clear nexus to the principle?
Sejusa's lawyer, David Mushabe, opines that the court convicted his clients on evidence with glaring flaws.
When I read the file, I saw a lot of contradictions, a lot of uncoordinated statements, and right away I realized that actually this was just witch hunting.
Mushabe says the cardinal role of court to dispense justice was replaced with a judgment through the political lenses.
Court was in no way a legal judgment. It was just a political judgment. And we are going to appeal against this judgment.
Some analysts say often the arena of politics has been overshadowed by the military, which occupies the regime's superstructure.
NRA, which is now the UPDF, views itself as the custodian of our democracy, as the group that fought for, delivered, and now have to guarantee the democratic dispensation in this country.
Analysts also opine that whereas some of the statements that Sejusa made touch on politics, they are often resolved through the coercive arm of the military.
He has resorted to the use of the army to solve political problems, to solve the country's economic problems. So his frustration with the civilian part of the state has always been resolved by his resort to the armed forces.
The army now says there's a plan to amend the charge sheet and remove 2 of those already convicted and charge them afresh under a lesser offense.
The charge sheet for the so-called Sejusa boys has been amended, and therefore they have to take plea afresh. They haven't been convicted yet, and for both categories, for General Sejusa and those other suspects, the law will take its course.
This is yet what lawyers say is another legally flawed procedure.
So you cannot convict somebody to death, sentence him to death, over hearsay. You must have some concrete evidence.
According to the army, the 6 men contrived a plot to overthrow the regime, yet to others, they are only pawns in a destructive poker game that has roped in the army, the executive, and the courts of law.
All these charges emanate from uncertain political situation. There is uncertainty.
Raymond Mujuni, NTV.